So, Adam, can you tell me what Flexlogics is?
Flexlogics is an online cloud-based joint integrity management system. It enables engineers to work safely and ensure optimization of their bolted flange connections that they have on site. So whether that's advising the torque values that they need to use to ensure a most optimum connection, the materials selection to ensure that they don't have things like chemical compatibility issues, or full traceability of what's happened to a bolted connection over its lifetime. Flexlogics is this online service which enables full visibility of bolted connections.
And how do you sign up to Flexlogics?
There's a few ways you can sign up to Flexlogics. First and foremost, if you go to www.flexlogics.com, you can create a free account. You can then also use a credit card to buy access to a license for the bolting calculator, so you can get immediate torque or tension figures. And then further to that, you can work with the Flexlogics sales team at Flexitallic to enable access to the software for whole plant. So you may want to go down a journey of improving joint integrity and having full traceability of all your bolted connections. Flexitallic can work with you to enable that through a consultation and take you on that journey.
So there are different levels within Flexlogics. Perhaps you could just explain the different sort of user types.
Yeah, sure. So we've got 4 different levels within Flexlogics. The first, we have a free version, which gives instant access to all of Flexitallic information, such as data sheets and case studies. We then have a license called Professional, which allows an engineer to pay online and get instant access to the bolting calculator. The next level, we have a site license, and this is our most popular license that we have amongst organizations. So a site license effectively covers a complete site. So it could be a power station, a process plant, an offshore asset. And then our final license is enterprise. And really enterprise is when a company wants to ensure standardization across all its locations. So what we typically find is a company will generally start with a site license. So say you've got an organization, it has 5 different process plants, 5 different locations around the world. Generally, an organization will pick one plant to be a pilot plant and be using Flexlogics, so they'll use a site license. So as part of the process, the first thing we do is we do an online demo. And again, anyone could go on flexlogics.com and request a live demo. And there's various people within Flexitallic that will give the demonstration, talk through all the features and how Flexlogics will benefit that specific site.
So once you've seen the demo and you've decided to sign up, what's the process that you go through with a customer?
Yeah, so once you've agreed to sign up, the first thing we do is we'll arrange a kickoff meeting with the client. So we'll either come to site or have a Teams call. And the purpose of that meeting is to create an action plan of what the client would like to achieve and by when. So it's not a case of Flexitallic just giving you access and away you go. We want to make sure you get the most value from Flexlogics as possible. So we'll put an action plan in place for the client. So things like using the bolting calculator, literally within a day, engineers can log into the system and use the bolting calculator. So clients get immediate value from that. And then within a week or so, they can be shown how to upload P&ID drawings, create connections in the system. So it is a very short onboarding period. And then afterwards, Flexitallic is always there for ongoing support. So we want to ensure that if a client needs support at any stage, they can get in touch, and there's experts that sit behind the software that can support them either through technical challenges they may have on bolted connections, even the practicality of how somebody uses the system in the field. We've got joint integrity engineers that can support with that. So we're there always to ensure that it's a success on site.
Adam, could you just tell me what the core modules are within the system?
Yeah. So there's 3 main core modules within Flexlogics. The first is the bolting calculator. The second is asset management, so creating a library of all the connections. And the third one is event management, so planning for maintenance and turnaround events.
Could you explain how the Bolton calculator works in Flexlogics?
Yeah, sure. So the bolting calculator is an out-of-the-box solution for an engineer to derive torque and tension figures. So very simply, they can go on the calculator, input a flange specification, click calculate, and it will give an instant recommendation, a Flexitallic recommendation of what the most optimum torque or tension value is to apply on that connection to optimize the sealing performance of the gasket without mechanically damaging the bolts of the flanges. Third to that, an engineer can then download a form which has the tightening pattern, the torque figure, the specification on it, which they can then give to their own technicians or contractors in the field to follow. So it's a very nice feature to give instant working instructions to people on site.
Within Flexlogics, there is a asset management module. Could you just explain that in a bit more detail?
Yeah, sure. So the asset management module of Flexlogics allows clients to create a unique record of all their equipment and both the connections that they have on site. So it allows them over time to create an inventory of what I've just mentioned there, the connections and the equipment, which means that if work is ever performed on those in the future, they now have full traceability against that connection in the database. So they create a permanent record. It has its unique identification tag. And then anything that happens to that connection is now fully traceable within Flexlogics.
Tell me about the event management feature in the software.
So event management is a module within Flexlogics where clients can track the turnarounds that they've got upcoming. So if, for example, a customer is going to install a new heat exchanger, there may be 4 bolted connections on that heat exchanger. The customer can go into event management, create a workpack. The workpack will contain the 4 bolted connections that a technician needs to assemble and put the gasket in, tighten, and do a leak test on. The event management allows full control of the work processes in putting those connections together. So as the heat exchanger gets installed and people work on the connections, Flexlogic is updated to reflect the status of those connections to say that they're assembled, they're tightened, maybe someone's done an independent inspection on them. All that information is kept within Flexlogics, fully traceable against that event. So it's a great project management tool.
So what sets Flexlogics apart from any other similar tool that's out there?
I think at its core, Flexlogics is a tool designed by engineers for engineers. There's nobody that knows bolted connections better than the engineering team at Flexitallic. And having that information within a system that end users can access and get results at their fingertips sets it apart from any of the competition.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your expertise and knowledge. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.